The O'Reilly Factor is on tonight.
I personally am calling to impeach the President of the United States. This is impeachable. If you don't want your vote back, what will it take?
The conservative radio talk show hosts are very hard on President Obama. But now, with all the chaos, have they been correct about him from the beginning? We will hear both sides tonight.
We have a problem with you, and you have a problem with maintaining your credibility.
The new IRS commissioner once again under siege, but are Republican congresspeople being unfair to the man? Darrell Issa will answer that question.
The Revolutionary War. Who did we fight there?
China.
China?
Also ahead, why do people who don't know anything go in front of TV cameras with waters? We will tell you.
The Vice President of the United States of America.
Dick Cheney.
Caution. You are about to enter the no spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. First off, we'll have two news briefs about key primaries during the broadcast this evening. Pithy, we'll keep it pithy because we have a solid lineup for you. We begin with this question. Were the conservative radio talk show hosts correct about President Obama from the beginning? That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. As you may know, there's bitter divide in America between committed liberals and staunch conservatives. The debate often gets nasty, personal, even defamatory. The left basically wants a different America, a progressive place, where the federal government calls the shots. The right wants to maintain tradition and believes that smaller government is best. Enter perhaps the most liberal president in history, Barack Obama. From the beginning of his campaign in 2007, he has been severely criticized on conservative talk radio. No surprise there. The president stands for things the right wing loathes. Criticisms directed at the president are both personal and professional. The personal stuff doesn't amount to much. He's not a Muslim. He was not born in Kenya. He has never done anything nefarious, word of the day. But the professional criticisms are turning out to be somewhat valid. A new CBS News New York Times poll, usually very generous to the president, shows his administration has collapsed in the court of public opinion. Independents have joined conservatives in believing the president is not doing a good job. The basic problem is competency. And you may remember that the radio guys pointed out that Barack Obama had little experience running anything, that he was basically a community organizer and theoretician. Well, if you examine the facts without emotion, that seems to be accurate. Mr. Obama's management skill and problem-solving ability are dubious. Let me back it up with a vivid example. President Obama was quite clear, that if elected president, he would reform the Veterans Affairs Department.
The true test of our patriotism is whether we will serve our returning heroes as well as they've served us. That's why I've pledged to build a 21st century VA as president. It means no more red tape.
So what happened to that pledge? Well, the VA is now a scandal. There are allegations that more than 1,000 American vets have actually died because they could not access proper care. The VA admits that more than 120,000 vets waited far too long for doctors to see them. In addition, the feds have paid out $845 million to settle VA malpractice suits. Senator Coburn of Oklahoma, a physician himself, has identified about $20 billion wasted by the VA. Despite that, $111 million was given to VA administrators in bonus money in 2010 alone, a shocking abuse of taxpayer money. And while all that was happening, President Obama did nothing, absolutely nothing. Add that to the border, Iraq, Putin, the IRS, and you have an administration that's basically missing in action. In fact, for you history buffs, what's happening right now is almost identical to President U.S. Grant's second term. It all fell apart for the old general because he did not pay attention. So, to be fair, it looks like the conservative radio talk show hosts were correct in their assessment of Barack Obama's ability to run the country. Or am I wrong? And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, reaction. Joining us from Washington, Kirsten Paris, and here in the studio, Monica Crowley. Both are Fox News analysts. So you are about to enter the no gloating zone.
I'm not gloating. No gloating here.
Even though you did say at the beginning on the radio, all right, that you did not believe this president could run anything.
Right. That was one of the many points that those of us on the right were making and warning about Barack Obama back in 2008. All of the examples you lay out are true, that you are seeing gross incompetence from the VA straight on through. But I think there's another issue here, and this is something that we also warned about in addition to the incompetence and the fact that he had never been an executive. I know you don't like to deal in ideology, but you are dealing with a president for whom far-left ideology is everything. So it matters less to him that he's carrying these things out in a competent way than it is about what he called the fundamental transformation of the nation.
That's an opinion, which you're certainly entitled to, but you can't base that on fact because it's hard to know intent. All right, so Powers,
can I just make one quick point here?
Go ahead.
Because when you talk about incompetence, here's how you can tell that it's not incompetence. Because this president laid out a series of objectives to transform the country, and he's done it in a lawless way. This is a very intelligent man. He knows that he is defying the law, rewriting the law on Obamacare, and so on, and he's doing it anyway.
With all due respect, my example of the VA overrides yours, because the VA he pledged, and he didn't do it, and I don't think it had anything to do with ideology. I think it had to do with mismanagement.
Well, I also think he's too busy doing the other things to pay attention to that.
All right, now, you read the polls, you know what's going on. The president's cratering in job approval among independents, even among some Democrats. 25% of Democrats, according to the CBS poll, think he's doing a horrible job. The talk radio guys from the very beginning, including Monica, I use guys in a unisex way. All right, everybody's included in the guys. All right, they said, look, the guy has no experience. He cannot run this. And that looks to me to be accurate.
Well, perhaps, but also there does happen to be the fact that that's pretty much what they say about every Democrat who runs for office. In fact, I'll make a prediction right now, Bill. The next Democrat who runs for president will not have the right experience. They will not love America.
Well,
they will actually hate the military.
It's going to be Hillary Clinton. I mean, I think her record is going to be scrutinized, but they're not going to say she doesn't have experience.
Oh, yes, they will.
Well,
they absolutely will, and they have already said it.
That's not going to resonate.
Well, I'm sorry, but they've already said it. So I think the fact that they say the same things, they will accuse whoever it is to be borderline socialist, far left.
All right,
they did it with John
stick
Kerry,
with President Obama,
the most liberal senator. I'm just saying they say the same thing about every single Democrat
who runs.
And so now suddenly you have somebody who actually isn't running the country wrong, and it's like, oh, their criticism is right. I'm sure they said the same thing about Bill Clinton. I'm sure they're like, who's this governor from Arkansas?
I don't remember the Bill Clinton thing. It was more of a character issue than a competency issue with him. But I mean, look, you can't rebut the fact that what the Monica and others said on the radio is now turning out to be true. Now, I will challenge you on this. I think it's foolish to ascribe motives to the president. Again, you're entitled to your opinion. It's good fodder for conversation. But in the provable realm, the argument becomes much more effective, is that here we have a president who is the most liberal president ever, and he can't solve any problems.
Well, I mean, look, if you're talking about, look, when he talked in 2008 about the fundamental transformation of the nation, we actually now have 6 years of evidence as to what he meant by that. Everything from socialized medicine to radical wealth redistribution. And it is worse. But listen, you're thinking from your mindset, from the far left mindset, this is a success.
He's not
No, all right. I don't want you putting words in Powers' mouth. Now, she says that you believe that President Obama's been a success. Is that true?
I think he's been successful in some things, yeah, absolutely.
No, overall assessment. U.S. Grant was successful on something.
No, I would say overall he's been a disappointment, but I don't think he's far left by any stretch of the imagination, which is why the left is so unhappy with him. You guys obviously don't know any.
The Kooks are unhappy, but
really
he's as far left as
honestly, you guys don't know any liberals. I mean, because this is not, his foreign policy was not, far left.
Let's cut through all of the verbiage. Name one president that was more liberal than Barack Obama in our nation's history. One.
Jimmy Carter.
Oh, no.
No.
Yeah, I think he was.
Anybody else come to mind? Rutherford Hayes?
I think
anybody?
Jimmy Carter was. I don't remember Jimmy Carter having the type of foreign policy that this president had.
But on that point, Jimmy Carter actually learned his lesson. Jimmy Carter, at the tail end of his term, changed his policies, became more aggressive on the Soviet Union. This president has not changed, and that tells you who he is.
All right, I got to go. Very interesting, ladies. As always, we appreciate it. Next on the Rundown, the Great American Retreat. We talked about it last night with Krauthammer. Dana Perino and Alan Colmes will have some thoughts tonight. And later, a withering attack on the head of the IRS. But was it unfair, over the top? Factors coming right back.